guys. So I gotta admit I didn't order a whole bunch out of the new catalog yet. Well, the stuff I wanted to order is not available yet, should I say. So the only stamp set that I was able to get, I did order a lot of retired stamp sets and some re-inkers and things like that. I did get a couple of new ink colors, but I wanted to show you the one stamp set I did get was this new Butterfly Wishes stamp set. I like how it has this this new thing that Stampin' Up's been doing for the last couple years. It has like this almost like a realistic photo kind of look. So this branch, this butterfly have that look, this flower here. So, and then some really cute fonts and sentiments on here. So again, this one's called Butterfly Wishes. So I thought, you know, I need to make some cards for those of you who have ordered from me for Stampin' Up. And I came up with this little card. Well, little panel, and then I'll mount it on a card. So I wanted to show you how super easy it was. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use this new ink color, which is called Seaside Spray. This is the perfect color for skies. I love it. It's not too light, not too dark. It's not too blue. It's a very cool kind of blue. Kind of like a muted light periwinkle, I guess. Or cornflower, I guess, would be nice. So I have one of these little brushes. This is a face makeup brush I picked up from Five Below. And I just gently wipe the top of that and kind of swirl it in. I don't want this to be perfect coverage because, again, I want it to look like clouds. So I'm just kind of swirling in. Some spots are going to be darker. Some spots are going to be lighter. That's okay. We don't want this to be perfectly ink blended. And as soon as I did this, I was like, oh, this is like the perfect sky. I love it. It's when our imperfections come in that make this look great. Okay, so if that doesn't look like the perfect cloudy background, I don't know what does. I hope that the camera is picking that up for you guys. So I think I did a little darker on this one. Maybe I have too much light in here. Hold on. Is that better? Yeah, I'm going to leave that light off. Okay. So that was using the brand new color Seaside Spray. Love it. I did get that one, and I did get the refill for it right away. Okay, so then we're just going to use our stamp positioning tool. If you have a Misty or a Tim Holtz stamp positioning tool, if not, you can purchase the Stamparatus from Stampin' Up. We want to take the foam out of the Misty, and I have already mounted the little cherry branch right there, cherry blossom branch. So we're going to mount that and put my magnet in there. And for this, I'm going to use sponge dauber. So I am going to use a couple of colors. The first one, I'm going to do the flowers in Flirty Flamingo. And I have that right here. Make sure you guys can see that. So Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to take a little sponge dauber, and I'm just going to go in and ink my flowers. And this is why we're using a stamp positioning tool, because we want to be able to do different colors of ink on this image. And I want to start with the lightest image first, which is the flowers. So just going to go put some of that pink on there and then stamp that down. So in any spot you don't think is dark enough, go back in and add a little more color. I don't think this looks too awful bad. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So the next color we're going to use is a little bit of green. This is Mossy Meadow. And for that, I'm basically going to look at where I think the leaves or the buds are. And that's why I started with the pink, because it's not going to hurt to layer some of this green. And it doesn't need to be perfect right over the pink. And I am going to do a little bit of the branch as well. So now it's taking on its own little life here. So that's Mossy Meadow. And then to finish up the branch, I am going to do a little bit of brown. This is Crumb Cake. Lost my brown dauber. I'll just use the green one again. And I'm just going to do a little bit more on the branches, just ever so slightly. Don't need a lot. Okay, so now we have our cherry blossom branch all done with those colors. And you don't have to use all those colors. I just really think it makes it pop when you have the brown and the green and the pink in there. Okay, let me clean that off. All right, now we're going to add our butterfly. And I like this kind of Monarch Butterfly. And I did have it kind of flying down, but I think it was leaning too much. I think I'm going to move it over like this. So it's like it's landing. So that one was pretty easy. All I did there was stamped it out in some Daffodil Delight. Okay, so that came out great first time. You can either leave it like that, or you can go in and put a little more detail into it, which I like to do. So I'm going to take my black dauber, and this time I'm using the VersaFine Clair ink just because it's on my desk. So I have a black dauber, and I'm just barely going to go around and do the antenna and the body of our little butterfly. And then ever so slightly along the edge of the butterfly wings. I don't want to get too much black in on the butterfly. A little more on his body. And you can stamp it as is. I just think adding that little bit of black really makes it pop out. Okay, so that is the branch and the butterfly. And so the last thing now is just to add our sentiment. Let me show you guys where we're at right now. Look how pretty that is. Okay. And then by doing those multicolors, it looks like you colored those stamped images instead of just stamping them. And I just want to make sure that that is lined up straight. I think that's straight. Okay, and I'm going to use that Flirty Flamingo again for the sentiment. And stamp that down. And it doesn't seem dark enough to me. I'm going to do it one more time. It says, a sweet friendship refreshes the soul. Okay, and it's super cute. If you wanted to add another blossom, there is a tiny little blossom. Let me find my little block here. So that looks like those blossoms blew off, and then we're done. And now I just mount it to a card front, and I will be able to mass produce a couple of these by stamping each image one at a time. So I'd stamp all the branches first, then go in and do the butterfly, then go in and do the sentiment. So I just wanted to show you guys that if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I will list all the items that I use down below for you. Of course, I'm stamping on Stampin' Up's Whisper White paper as well. But thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, post them down below. If you like this video, I appreciate your thumbs up, and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.